Hello students and viewers, this is ETETA from Morogoro, Tanzania. My name is teacher Ramadhani Kideghesho, teaching chemistry. Welcome to the series of our lessons from ETETA TV. In this lesson, I will show you the correct way of answering the different questions from the past paper of Certificate of Secondary Education Examination of National Examination Council of Tanzania. Question number 10B of CSEE Necta 2019. The question says, A. Give 3 advantages of using chemical equation over word equation. Give 3 advantages of using chemical equation over word equation. B says, you are provided with the compound of 22.2% zinc, 11.6% sulfur, and 22.3% oxygen, and the rest percentage is water of crystallization. Calculate the molecular formula of the compound if its molecular mass is 283. So here you have 2 questions, question A and B in question number 10. Answer for question number 10A. The chemical equation tells us about the quality and quantity of reactants and products involved. So the chemical equation tells us about the quality and quantity of the reactants and products involved in chemical reaction. Also, the chemical equation, the balanced chemical equation, gives the proportion of reactants and the products, the number of moles of reactants and the number of moles of, so you know the proportion of reactant and the product in case you balance the chemical equation. So this can be done in chemical equation and not in word equation. Also, the chemical equation tells us about the physical states of reactants and the products. Also in the chemical equation, the physical state, I mean maybe if the reactant or product is gaseous, in gaseous or liquid or aqueous state, they are shown in the chemical equation, not in the word equation. Also, the chemical equation is short and easy to understand. If you write the chemical equation, it is short, it takes a very small space, and it is easy to understand than using the word equation. So these are advantage or importance of using the chemical equation over word equation. Now question number 10B. From the table here, you have zinc, you have sulfur, you have oxygen, and you have water of crystallization. As I told you that the first thing you need to have is the percentage composition by mass. And for zinc, the percentage composition by mass is 22.2, but for sulfur, it is 11.6, and oxygen is 22.3, and water is 43.9. So this is the composition by mass. Also, another thing you need to have is the relative atomic mass. The relative atomic mass of zinc is 65, but for sulfur is 32, oxygen is 16, and water is 18. So these are relative atomic mass. So you have to divide now percentage composition by relative atomic mass. For zinc, you will take 22.2, then you divide by 65, which is equal to 0.34. For sulfur, you will take 11.6, then you divide by 32, which is equal to 0.36. For oxygen, you will take 22.3, you divide by 16, which is equal to 1.39. And for water, you will take 43.9, then you divide by 18, which is equal to 2.44. So what's follow is to divide by smallest ratio. Look which one is smaller among these ratios which you obtain here. It's sure that 0.34 is smallest than the rest. So you take a 0.34, then you divide to all ratios which you obtain. So for zinc, it will be 0.34 divided by 0.34, which is equal to 1. For the case of sulfur, you will take 0.36, then you divide it by 0.34, which is equal to 1. For oxygen, you will take 1.3639 divided by 0.34, which is equal to 4. And for water, you will take 2.44 divided by 0.34, which is equal to 7. So for zinc, the answer is 1. For sulfur is 1. For oxygen, 4. For water is 7. For that case, the empirical formula is zinc sulfate heptahydrated. Zinc sulfate 7 water. Zinc Zn SO4 7 hydrogen 2 oxygen. So this one here is the empirical formula. Now, after obtaining the empirical formula, what we're going to find now is the molecular formula, because the question asks you to determine the molecular formula. Now, how to determine the molecular formula? The molecular formula can be determined by using the following formula. Molecular formula is equal to N times the empirical formula. But how could you determine the value of N? It's by using the following formula. Relative molecular mass is equal to N times empirical formula. The relative molecular mass there is 283, which is equal to N, then you multiply by empirical formula, which is equal to zinc sulfate heptahydrated. Now, 283 is equal to N, then you multiply by 65 plus 32 plus 4 times 16 plus 7, then you multiply by 2 times 16. So, 283 is equal to 287 N. Now, to find the value of N, you divide by 287, which is equal to 0.986, approximately equal to 1. For that matter, to determine the molecular formula, we use the formula, molecular formula is equal to N times the empirical formula, which is equal to 1, which is equal to the value of N. Then we multiply by zinc sulfate heptahydrated. So 1 times 1, 1 times 4, 1 times 2, it is equal to 1. All of them, 1 times 7 is equal to 1. 1 times 1 is equal to 1. So for that matter, the molecular formula is equal to Zn, or zinc sulfate heptahydrated. Zinc sulfate heptahydrated. So therefore, the molecular formula is zinc sulfate heptahydrated. This is the molecular formula from the question which you have been asked. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching this video. You were with me, teacher Ramadhan Kideghesho. See you in the next period. Thank you.